Hi everyone, welcome to Cloud Medici, and today I'll take a practice test for AZ-104, and this is a paid version. As you can see, it is from Whizlabs. I've already taken this practice test, and 50 or 60% question I'm able to answer. So I'll just try to take it again, and I'll try to explain whatever explanation they have given. And the good part of Whizlab is the explanation are pretty accurate. So I'll just quickly take it. So if you are planning to take 104, this will be helpful. So this has 20 question, and I'll just start this. So I'll just go with the practice mode, so that I can also show you the explanation that they have provided. Okay, the first question is they're saying like your organization has Azure subscription. The admin of the subscription create two new resource group, RG1 and RG2. He needs to assign the role to the developer, those like who will deploy the virtual machine, virtual network, and storage account, and create file share in RG1. So this is some developer. They should be able to create virtual machine, virtual network, and storage account. Okay, and the admin also needs to assign the a role to the manager. The manager should provide access to RG1. So manager only they will do the they will have the privilege to access users and other stuff, but the developer will be able to deploy virtual machine and vnet. So I'll just quickly check the option. So so in that case, we need a contributor access basically. So it would be like virtual machine contributor role. Okay, so I think resource group level we need to provide the access, so that is a contributor role with a resource group that will be for developer, and user administrator on contributor subscription. Okay, so user administrator for the resource group scope. So this will be for developers, and this will be for managers. So developer, if you have the contributor access, so contributor will generally manage the resources. They can create, edit, delete, deploy. So they will be able to do this stuff, and the managers, they will be able to access, provide additional access to the users. So that too I think would be the right option, and let us check. Show answer. So yeah, so that is the one. So this is this two on resource group level. So it is not subscription level because they have talked for the resource group level, and I think they have give the proper explanation. Now if I move to the next question, next question is saying basically create Azure storage account, add file storage. So file storage, if we need to create file storage, port number is 445, that you need to remember. 80 is 80 and 443 HTTP and HTTPS. This 3389 is basically RDP port. So apart from that, we need to choose other two. So also, like, we need to create a firewall rule based IP access. So that is required because you need to basically allow the IP address in the firewall so that we can able to access that particular storage. And they talked about, I think, secured access. So you need to secure access is also required. Okay, so these three option will be there. Now let us check the answers as well. So 1, 2 and 3. Okay, now move to the next question. This is deploy and manage Azure. So you need to increase the CPU cores. So CPU's cores increase is comes under uh, so what are the steps that we need to follow for running Azure container instance? Okay, so if we need to So Azure container instance means like it's ACI. So ACI we cannot basically scale up. So we need to basically redeploy the new ARM template, and we need to also, first of all, we need to basically delete the existing, and you need to redeploy the uh, template. So I think these two we need to select. And now the third question is create ACI multi-container group. So multi-container group is nothing but like AK like it's similar to our pods, right? Azure Kubernetes pod. So like it will basically share the hardware, uh, network and storage of the server. So containers ACI group share the same resources, right? And then this one ACI group can include init controller containers, and then it support only Linux. So this ACI group only support Linux. You need to recall this. So just let me check the answers. I think yeah, these three. So you can see the explanation also. Uh, it is similar to our AKS pods. Now I'm going to the fifth one. You create a AKS cluster and need to attach data volume so that multiple pods running simultaneously. Okay, so AKS we can either use standard disk or premium disk. So disk we can attach, and file we can attach, but here the option would be file, because like they are saying like it is kind of a shared uh, like resource of which can be accessed simultaneously by the pods. So the answer would be files. And if it is like something like where these pods are updating persistent data, that we need to choose disk. Okay, so let us check the answer. It is Azure file, and I think they have given the explanation here also. You can check. Now six. So they are creating a basically AKS Kubernetes cluster, and the snapshot of the Kubernetes service they have given. So what we can do basically here, I mean, if you have little idea of this Azure Kubernetes for networking, they use kubenet and then Azure CNI. So if you are getting some question related to networking in a case, either you need to choose CNI or kubenet. So the advantage of using kubenet is they will provide dynamic IP allocation. So here basically uh, we'll choose kubenet, and we'll see the answer. Yeah, kubenet is the right, and possibly you can see the explanation. So kubenet, if you use like kubenet, it will provide the port CIDR, so dynamic IP it will be given. But for the other one, if it is CNI, it won't provide the dynamic IP. So you can see a CNI, so port CIDR is not applicable. Okay, we'll go to the next question. So here also, like they are saying, you run a command to check the updates from a case cluster. So I think this is a case upgrade. That would be one option, and you need to run it once. So once you run it, your container will be upgraded. So let's see the okay. The answer is basically a case upgrade, and then one. Then we have lot of options here. So basically they're saying you create a app service plan B1 for web app. You want Azure to be able to add 10 VMs instance to run app automatically during the higher traffic on the site. Okay, so basically they are saying like how we can basically scale out. So here we have like scale out based on the metrics, because based on performance we are adding CPUs, like adding servers, so that is basically scale out. And scaling, we need to basically go with the service plan. For sorry, scale up. Scale up means additionally, like we are adding some resources, we are changing the tier, or we are adding some extra spaces, we are going some higher plan. So this is basically scale up. So for scale up we need to normally go with the service plan so that we can optimize the cost, and obviously scale out based on the scale out, and scale in based on the matrices only, based on the matrix up, like higher traffic. So this is the answer. Now question number 9. Okay, you want to protect your web application AD authentication to limit the access to the user. Okay, so basically they are saying like you have a web app which is integrated with Azure AD authentication. What the steps that you need to follow in order to limit access? So you need to register your app with AD. That is the first one. You need to basically select identity provider. Identity provider as in like you can select Google, Facebook, Microsoft Office 365, Twitter as your login provider. And then set service authentication setting. So last option would be, I think we can use this register conditional access is not required here. Authentication setting, setup service authentication. Yeah, these three I think would be fine. Let's see. Register app. This is the one. Yeah, this is the one. Okay. Now, if we go to question number 10. Question number 10 is basically saying like uh, they are adding a custom domain name. So custom domain name as in like you have you have a custom domain and you are migrating it, and or you are proving your ownership, or you are basically adding it to your domain register. So for that the option is always txt record. So txt record will prove the ownership of your domain. So you need to basically generate the txt record zone file basically, and same you need to add it. So mx record also is mx is basically for mail, and normally for URL we use txt record. This cname is canonical name, so this doesn't match with our requirement, and this a record is like our URL like IP4 configuration. So these two will be the answers. So this is about the first 10 questions. So if you like this video, I will go through the next 10 questions.